think that there's a definite shift with spiritual journeys. But that's also because we have entered an era of time where religion is optional. So not too many generations back, we had our parents and grandparents and such who belonged to a religion. So everybody had sort of a camp that they belonged to, and they were born into. So it was like a default thing, It wasn't like you got to, wake up one day and decide, what religion will I be? It was, your mother religion. So a lot of people then only had two options: to either continue in this religion and suffer if it wasn't serving their spiritual needs, or to leave the church entirely. And that was kind of it. It's either you were in a religious camp or you weren't. And so there wasn't many options. But now, out of this growing population, sort of the number one religion is the non-churched religion right now, is people who aren't, instead of just hanging up their hat and saying, well, because there's no church that can offer me what I need, then I'm going to be an atheist. Instead, they're seeking what else could there be. And from that huge need has grown different spiritual paths. And it's almost like a recycling, because there's lots of spiritual groups now that are meeting in people's basements or homes. And there was a time where that was a beginning of a lot of churches too. A lot of churches began meeting, small groups of people meeting in somebody's house, and then it just grew and grew and grew. So perhaps, there are maybe more sort of religions that come out of this. But I think the difference now is that there's a great acceptance of allowing people to do whatever they need to fulfill their spiritual needs. And that there isn't one way, or there isn't the way, there's a way. And there's a greater tolerance to that now too, so that people aren't, frowned upon or judged, or, why weren't you at church on Sunday? They're open to the possibility that there's other ways of doing it. And therefore, because there's that freedom now that generations in the past didn't have, they are able to then feed their spiritual needs in different ways. And it's becoming much more, out there, and people, instead of might have been more of a closet spiritual person, now they can, say out loud what they do, and their, maybe a daily spiritual practice at home, or different things that they attend, and that they're not just committed to one group that meets every Sunday morning. They, do lots of different things and meet lots of different groups and discuss different things with different people, and there's a greater sense of acceptance. So there's definitely a huge curiosity, a huge need, and I think with a high amount of mental health issues that are out there, I think that has a lot to do with it, that people aren't being able to take care of themselves first. And if we deny that spiritual aspect of ourselves, it has a crippling effect in all areas of our lives. And unfortunately, I think it's being misdiagnosed as being, this mental health issue that people are born with and just need medication now for the rest of their life. I think that there's definitely answers, that medication can definitely be needed and helpful temporarily, but it can, but not necessarily, hopefully not permanently, that they can figure out what it is that's creating this, crippling effect in their lives, and that often spirituality is what is the element that's missing in their lives, and bringing spirituality in sort of completes the picture.